Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Bronze Reaper Podcast. I'm your host, Rochland Perkins, and today we got a great show. Um, Give me a second. We got a great show. Why do Africans have no accountability for the African slave trade? It's a great question, and the reason why I say it's a great question because 13 millions was taken all over South America, and the Caribbean islands, North America. So and we can even say other places, but this place right here was coined to be a great area. Um, the reason why I talk about this, and I think it's very important, it's very important because we see what's going on in New York City with Ghana and reparations with Ghana. I didn't have time to ask I would consider him a mentor of freedom fighters. My director, one of my director or elders, brother Khalid. Khalid is and I don't use brother as much, but he is a big brother, and I have to say that. I haven't had time to talk to him for a while, by the way. I've been so busy doing this show and my short film. Um, but I do want to say this. It is time to get rid of this we all black. I personally do have to say that I got cussed out about three this morning by some Pan Africans for explaining what a tether is. Yeah, I'm gonna say this, Robin. I mean, Randall. I'm sorry, Randall. It's a wrap for them. It's a wrap for them, and the reason why is we already know they already been bought in. They didn't sell out. They bought in. They bought into the bullshit of the Democrats. They bought into the bullshit of the liberals and these politicians. What's happening right now with the Professor Smalls and all this shit, people are being bought in. They getting bought in of the Democrats. They're being sold out. They're being pimped out right now. This is why I always tell people all the time, I don't want to hear about what's going on in in these Pan African spaces. And I'll be personally honest. I do watch it. I do see what's going on. Them niggas they dying. It's so bad that they're selling out to the liberals. All this, and don't forget, a year or two ago, they were talking about we don't do this and we don't do that LGBTQIA stuff over here. Now look who their partner in crime is. And I'm gonna say this: there's nothing wrong with it, but when when they're only your brother is when you need help. This is why Black Americans don't want to fuck with you. They don't want to fuck with you. They're good with what's going on in the within the Pan African community or the Black diaspora community. We don't give two fucks because at the end of the day, y'all niggas is losing. It's getting so bad. I'm gonna say this. It's getting so bad now where they're attacking us for no reason. They're attacking us for trying to figure it out by ourselves. They're the guys who you going to talk to, the fly chicken. They like the chick too, and they say, "I bet you don't get her." They on that type of time. They on that type of time. And know what? I'm gonna say this about 19 Keys too. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say this. What 19 Keys did was some sucker shit, and I'm gonna call it out. It's some sucker shit. Let's personally be honest and say, yo, be honest, like, yo, I'm making a money move. I can't be fucking around with y'all. If y'all don't wanna get this bag in Africa, then I'm gonna get this bag in Africa. But at the end of the day, you can't shit on your own people. Then after that, say we're not your people. This is why I always tell niggas, stop calling me brother. It offends me. Niggas like 19 Keys. How the fuck you talking about, yo, you been had money, then when you get a little fucking bushmeat bag, you're on top of the world. You act like you was on top of the world. Nigga, you doing tours in Africa. That's cool that you're doing things in Africa. If anything, you should have tried to fill in that gap and see what the fuck is going on with Africans and Black Americans. You could have, let me tell you something. And I'm going to say this 19 Keys, and this is why I say a lot of niggas don't think, niggas' brains is clouded when green is around them. And I hope y'all understand what I mean when I say that. Hold on 1 second. Um, and yeah, it's just, you could have bridged the gap a little bit. It would have never been fixed, but it would have been on a cordial basis where, like, yo, you know what, y'all niggas need to handle yourself. What's going on in Africa, and police your people. Like I've been saying, police your people. Nobody don't want, and this is, and I'm gonna say this. Niggas always talking about, oh yeah, niggas is moving as a organization, but y'all was and the Pan Africans was the first one to tell us we need to be moving like a militant. So now when we're moving like we're militant and we're moving on code, there's a fucking problem. This is why I'm like, yo, I'm on that bullshit with 19 Keys now. I'm the one that defends him. I'm the one who defend him when Pan Africans would call him a pseudo intellectual, giving out false knowledges. I was the one who defended him. When Black Americans would say, yo, this niggas is gonna sell us out, he on some other shit, I would say, nah, give this nigga a chance. He might surprise us. I said that. And this is why, and the thing about, I'm gonna tell y'all, this is the prime example when I say, yo, nigga, y'all niggas should say whatever you wanna say. But don't come to me when niggas is on your back. Cause if I help you out off the strength, I know you're gonna do some stupid shit. This is why I only help out my own people. I don't help out other people. That's just me. I don't. Because I know I'm gonna be fucked over at the end of it. At the end of the day, I'm gonna get fucked over. This is the same situation I'm talking about. And I just wanted to talk about that 19 Keys for a little bit. We're gonna start this show in like 10, 15 minutes. But yeah, it just, you know what? I'm gonna be personally honest. I'm tired of these Africans too. I'm tired of most. I'm not gonna say all Africans. I'm tired of most of these Africans. Most of these Africans who's on TikTok, on Facebook, YouTube. It's like, yo, my nigga, y'all have. Give me a second. Y'all have all the excuses in the world of what the fuck is going on, except telling the fucking truth. There's no truth telling when it comes to them. It's always tribalist. Everything is tribalistic. And this is why I say all the time, I could see how people say Africans sold Africans. And I personally do believe it. I personally do believe it. Because at the end of the day, to this day right now, they're still doing the same fucking thing. They still kissing that white supremacist ass and then ask us, oh, why we ain't fighting. Nigga, we the only one fighting. We the only one fighting. Like, we gotta be personally honest about this. And I'm gonna say this to the Caribbeans. These are the niggas that you're calling brothers. These are the people that you're calling brothers. And this is 100% that they sold you. This is 100% that they don't give a two fucks about you because they never got you. They say, oh, well, they got their own country now. I explained to a Caribbean individual why he has a better understanding. Yeah, they do have a better understanding. And this is why I say, yo, with Caribbeans, it's a little bit different. I joke around with Caribbeans, but that shit is out the window with Africans. Like, why do we have to hear about some bullshit that happened probably 500 years ago? And it's only 4% of us in America. But we're talking about the popular population. I mean, the majority population. We're talking about South America. We're talking about the Latin countries, the Caribbean countries. Where was their savior? Or did y'all forget about them? And the reason why I'm gonna say this Caribbean community, the reason why they're not doing anything for you because you can't give them anything. You personally can't give them anything, and that's your people. I hope you are. I'm gonna say this, Shabaka. Hold on, we finish reading. I will try to call you. You don't know who your teachers are, but your teachers is brother. Stop calling me brother. It offends me, Shabaka. I'm gonna be personally honest. You're an African, and I'm gonna be and this is just a historical thing. It makes me uncomfortable when you call me brother. I'm gonna be personally honest. I don't like when Africans call me brother if I'm not their in-laws or anything. If I'm not an in-law or a real family member or a family close to a family, please don't call me brother. It offends me. Um, but the Caribbean community, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. They don't want to hold accountability to what they did to y'all. This is why I say, like, yo, and the thing about it, this isn't only about foundational Black Americans. This is what they did to you too. This isn't just about Black Americans. This is what they did to the Caribbeans, the Latin people, um, even the Portuguese, the Portuguese colonies, like fucking Brazil and Cape Verde. And I know a lot of them don't want to talk about that, but I understand, and this is why I say I understand with Jamaicans when they say, "Stop calling me fucking brother." Don't call me brother. Don't call me brother. You're the fucking devil. You the one who sold me. You're in the devil's pocket. You drink unholy water. I'm just being personally honest about this whole situation. And like, if it seems like I'm dividing the situations up, no, I'm not. This is a conversations that Caribbeans and Africans should be having. Black Americans is already we're done. We don't want shit to do with Africa. I'm being personally honest. You Democrats keep on pulling us that fucking way. Oh, yo, we all the same. No, we're not all the same. We're not the same. Even though my brother hate me, I still love him. And when I say my brother, I'm talking about the Black American lineage. And it's coming to this situation where, you know what? I understand now. I understand the separation. I understand why people are mad now. Even though they shouldn't have a reason to be mad, I understand. This is a cultural thing. When they get mad about delineation, and I'm gonna say this, Caribbeans, you shouldn't be mad about delineation. You should be wanting your own culture, even though it's gonna come with some rough ends because of certain things that happen into your country that you bring over to America. But you know what? This is the time for you and your community to fix that shit. Stop passing the blame on people. Fix it. That's it. Because you know what? I'm gonna be personally honest. Those people, these Pan Africans telling you to go back to Africa, all that other shit, everything came from Africa. No, you have a culture. The Caribbean family has a culture. You need to tell these niggas who you really are. Stop giving your credit to fucking Africans. Because I'm gonna be personally honest. How great, and I'm gonna say this: how great Black Americans really are. We're not giving fucking Africans credit ever again. That's it. They already stayed their welcome. They overstayed their welcome with us. Especially when they don't take off their shoes when they step their foot in the house. Renaissance woman, the reason why, because they know that they're from Africa. The Jamaicans know that they came off that slave ship, but they also are mixed with indigenous and European culture. They are, and yeah, European and indigenous culture, so it's like I get it. And I'm gonna say this. This is just what's going on right now. What Black Americans is doing, a lot of these Caribbean people are gonna start doing it. They're gonna be like, nah, I'm not African. I'm not African. Like my culture's in Jamaica. My culture's in Trinidad, Barbados. That's what's gonna happen, Renaissance woman. But at the end of the day, they're on right now. They're probably a year. They're probably like a 5 or 10 years behind us with this delineation shit. Sooner or later, they're gonna delineate from Africa. These Caribbeans are gonna start delineating from Africa, saying those are not our people. Those are the niggas that sold us. They're gonna start looking back in their history. They're gonna start looking for documents if they can find it. That's what's gonna happen. And I'm gonna say this show is holding people accountable. I'm even holding the Arabs accountable for the slave trade. Because don't forget, they're the ones that innovated that shit. They innovated the slave trade in Africa. They innovated it. They could blame the Africans all they want, but no, they innovated it. The Arabs innovated. This is why I said when these Arab countries and they getting bombed, and I don't give a fuck about their countries. And the reason why, when they come over here with that disdain attitude too. Nigga, I'm gonna give you an example. We could all be Muslims, but them Arabs, they still won't fuck with us. They still won't fuck with us. They will still have a problem with us. I'm just being personally honest. The people who have displaced and many knows our history better than us. Bullshit. We were stolen, not so. No, we were sold. We were sold by other Africans. And I'm going to say this. The biggest sellers were Benin, Nigeria, Ghana, and Senegal and Angola. Those were the biggest ones. And they were tribes. Yes. You got this fucking nigga coming over here from fucking Ghana trying to tell us, what we should be mad about and what we should not be mad about. Nigga, we already knew. We've been said that. We were the only ones fighting white supremacists. We was the only one. And the thing about it, the liberals gave you the spotlight. You didn't do it because you were great. You did it because at the end of the day, you was a fucking pawn. But Shabaka would not tell that. I told Pan-Africans I rock with FBAs. I was what? They kind of lost it. I told them FBA should be at preparations and that. Yeah. Out of anybody, we should get it first. And I'm gonna say this: even the Africans that came over here on the slave trip, should get it. And the reason why, because they were a part of building this country. They were a part of building this country. We're talking the ones that has lineage over here from the 1800s, 1800s. I'm being personally honest. If you came over here in 1960, no. In the 1800s, you was over here, your family was getting busy building this country. Yes, you should get it. The black natives who didn't get reparations when they was a reclassified people, they getting it. They getting it. It's 10% to make them feel 6 hours. Yeah, facts. Talk about they all doctors and stuff. No, nigga, y'all all cleaning somebody's ass. Come on, let's not lie. We also know we are Africans. It's the Europeans who were. No, we didn't say we're not African. We saying that we're more than just Africans. We had an ethnogenesis. We've been said that, Shabaka. We've been said that. It's just you. You want to keep on arguing with us because at the end of the day, you don't like how we say, like, yo, we have our own culture. We don't need to celebrate that fucking culture in Africa. We're not going to give no thanks. Thanks for giving us culture. You didn't give a shit. The fuck? You're the reason why a lot of these people are over here in these Caribbean countries. You're the reason why a lot of these people is over here in South America, in these Latin countries, in North America. Even in some of these European countries. You're the reason. And you want us to give you thanks? Who do you care? You're pretending, but you're coming like no, this is a different question. Black Snow Bunny King. Let me ask you a question, and this is my issue with you, Black Snow Bunny King. I'm defending your people. I'm withholding, and I'm installing back the honor that your people had before they were sold, before they were violated, brutally beaten, abused, mistreated. That threw you away like when you died, they didn't give you a proper burial. They just threw you away. I'm restoring that honor back to y'all. Shabaka isn't. Let me tell you something. You got more animosity against me than the people who sold you, and I'm talking about the Africans. I'm just being personally honest. The Africans sold you. They sold you. And They sold you for years some liquor and some weed, but also they sold you to be more close with the white supremacists because they were still doing business after. When you when your ancestors were dying, they were getting more of your cousins. They didn't give a fuck about y'all. But let me tell you something. You come to me with that disdain, oh yeah, black Americans, they call me, yeah, nigga, you off code. This is why we call you a tether. You off code. Talk about we're organization because we're staying militant and staying firm on how we believe. Y'all was the first ones to tell us that, yo, we need to be more militant out here. The Pan-Africans told us that. You need to be more militant out here. We need to be more militant out here. We need to be protecting ourselves. We need to be talking for ourselves. So when we get niggas out the paint, we tell niggas, yo, you're not black Americans. You should not be talking on this. Because half of the shit what you're saying, a lot of black Americans don't believe. For example, Amber Rose. She talks all this crazy shit, talk about we black, then when she talks about a certain black situation, she said, see how you niggas act? She's Cape Verdean. And I love Cape Verdean women, but come on. I know a Cape Verdean when I see a Cape Verdean. Come on. There's certain things I know a Cape Verdean do. Not this one I know, but there's certain things that Cape Verdeans do that it irks me it irks me to the core because a lot of Cape Verdeans they're technically African, but they push their Portuguese side. They push their Portuguese side more than anybody than the Portuguese. They do that more than Portugal does it. And then, I'm gonna tell you this: if you see any of their displays, they usually have the Cape Verdean flag and they have the Portuguese flag, the Portugal flag. That's how much they like their oppressor. That's how much they love their oppressor. I'm being personally honest, and there was a situation. I'm gonna tell you when I was at work, when I worked at Boston Medical. There was this Jamaican guy. He said, "Yo, there's one thing about." He said, "There's something about y'all that I to this day I still don't get." He's like, "Yo, we all." He's like, "We're all black here, right?" She's like, "Well, I'm Portuguese too." "Oh, you're Portuguese." He said, "This is the problem. Y'all be thinking that y'all are white and y'all are not white. Y'all was y'all wasn't born by Portuguese. Y'all was raped by the Portuguese. And at the end of the day, you use that as a badge of honor to represent them. And these are the people that just didn't fight. These were the first people that were on the colony first. When they went from Angola, they went straight to Cape Verde. They were the first one in slave trade. They were the first, and I'm gonna be personally honest. They got a dark side and a light side. But at the end of the day, sooner or later, I'm gonna say it again. They're gonna push back on that. They're gonna push back on that Portugal shit. They're gonna say, "Yo, we're Cape Verde. We're not Portuguese." Do I speak Cape Verdean Creole? Yes, but I'm not no Portuguese. I'm Cape Verde. Oh, Cape Verdean. I apologize, Cape Verdean community. But yeah, it's just your grandma wasn't. She was. What are you talking about? My grandmother's still alive, my nigga. What are you high? Black Snowbody King. I need you to stay on topic. Um, I'm coming to a point right now too. And this is why. Thank you, Shabaka. Thank you for staying on topic. But you, Snow Bunny King, I'm gonna have to start. I'm gonna have to start. timing you out because I need you to stay on topic today. All right. I'm just letting you know I'm gonna time you out if you don't stay on topic. Shabaka staying on topic, and I appreciate that, Shabaka. I really do appreciate that. But Snow Bunny King, I need you to stay on topic. You are you are in a hate cult. Why do all our ancestors celebrate our Who's all? Most of us don't celebrate Africans because we don't know Africans like that. And I'm gonna say this: what African ancestors? And I'm gonna say this: that's a disrespect to my ancestors when you try to add them with some Africans. I'm gonna be personally honest. It's an insult. To me, it is. It always has been an insult. Let me see what is on topic and what is not. You're talking about my lineage, and I'm talking about the accountability of Africans on of the African slave trade. What is the accountability? You're talking about being a pretendian, but we're not talking about the natives here. We're talking about the Africans that came from Africa without not by choice, but by force. They were forcefully came here. So this is what we're talking about. We're not talking about delusions, how I feel and stuff. I'm talking about your community. The question is, Black Snow Bunny King, why aren't you defending your community? And this is why I have a problem with a lot of you Caribbeans because you don't defend your community. You don't defend your community. You'll defend the white supremacists, and this is where the tethering comes in. This is why I say it's a tether. We don't call you a tether because you're an immigrant. We called you a tether because you know what? You're off code with us and your people. Or if you're on code with your people selling Black Americans out, you're still off code. This is the thing. Y'all don't want to be held accountable with the shit that you do. This is why I say accountability. Accountability is let me tell you something. I hear a lot of y'all immigrants, because most of y'all niggas are red pill. Y'all always talk about women having accountability for their fuck ups. Y'all need to have accountabilities for y'all fuck ups too. I'm just being personally honest. Y'all don't have no type of accountability. You know? Um, Give me a second, everyone. I think I got a package. I'm sorry, but give me like 2 seconds. Yeah, it's like that's the thing with me. It's about the accountability. You say Cape Verdeans were proud to be Portuguese. Yes, 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 yes. I'm not. I'm talking about this. Yes, don't forget. I'm from Boston. I'm around enough Cape Verdeans to know this. Cape Verdeans don't fuck with black people like that. I told you about their gang hierarchy and stuff like that. There's not a lick of a Black American in there. They think the same things how your people, Black Snow Bunny King, thinks about us. Yes, this is experience. I don't have to read on that. I'm just being personally honest. And they came here in the '60s. They were in our cultures. What's the singing group back in the '60s? The Tavares, yes, they got one of the number one hit songs, and they consider a black. They're in the black genre. Yes, I'm letting you like Black Snow Bunny King. I know what I'm talking about. I would. This is what you gotta understand, Black Snow Bunny King. The shit that I talk about is I see a lot. I see a lot. You know, and I'm gonna say this: when you get older, because I know you's a young nigga. When you get older, you're gonna start seeing a lot of stuff you used to like fight for, promote. Like you start to see, you're gonna be like, damn, what was I thinking? What was I thinking doing that? You know, a lot of I know this Cape Verdean guy. He was a friend of my he was a friend of my friends. No, he was a family friend of my friends. No, he's a family member of my best friend of my best friends. The way how he used to talk about Black Americans, and this nigga was a jailbird. The way how he talked about Black American will make you fucking sick. And the nigga was a dope fiend jailbird. All jokes aside, all jokes aside, he was a dope fiend jailbird, and he talked crazy about Black people. A lot of them do that. This is why I say, yo, collectively, a lot of y'all don't help Black Americans. A lot of y'all don't fuck with Black Americans. This is why we don't ask for help. Let me tell you something. When Black Americans is in a dilemma, do you hear us calling out, "Oh, yo, where's the Caribbean unity? Where's the Black unity?" No, nigga, we figured this shit out ourselves. We figured this shit ourselves. I'm just being personally honest. No, he's not on topic. He's not on topic. I'm just saying, I'm being personally on, and he's just saying stupid stuff. Look at being raped by accused and proud of being pretentious because your sector was slaves to India. Like, what type of shit is that? What sector was that? This then when you ask them, okay, what sector was when natives, the native reds, the civilized the five civilized tribes were doing the same thing. Did they have slaves? Yes. But niggas was getting them out the paint. That's why there's not a lot of them left. There's not a lot of them left because technically there wasn't even a lot of them in the first place. Let's personally be honest about it. And this is what I'm talking about. But I want to start the show. Hold on, Franz, you're acting like African Americans don't want to hang around together the same way police don't want to hang around. What the fuck are you? You know what time it is, right? You know what time it is. I warned you, man. Give me a second, everybody. My audio's kind of off. Oh, why y'all tell me my mic wasn't even working, man? Come on, don't do that. My mic wasn't even working. Y'all didn't even tell me anything. I was using the mic for my camera, man. Jesus, that's better. No, it's okay. You can shake your head, but reading comprehension is key. No, you still again. You're still not holding them accountable. You're still not holding them accountable. And I'm gonna say this: the black community is not as bad as y'all niggas making it be. I'm being personally honest. Y'all making the black and the thing again. I'll say it again. 1 in 20 black people are rich. Half of the population in the black community. I mean, in just the black world, black American world, half of us is middle class. Half of us is middle class. So you can't say that we're not. I'm just being personally honest. Let me see. I'm gonna read these last three and shake it. I gotta sit this man down. He's talking crazy. You cannot understand what is being written. Educated Black Americans do not want to hang on. The same. Yeah, he got sit them down. He's talking that white boy shit, man. That's the crazy part, man. This is. I'm gonna be personally honest. I'm gonna give you 10. Let me give you a 10 piece. All right. You just get. I'm giving you just a 10 piece. All right, player. But yeah. I gotta be personally honest, man. It's it's sad out here. It's sad out. Yeah, it's sad out here for a lot of these folks. They look at the bottom 10 and project. Yeah, they do. They do. And this is why I always tell you, yo, I know Shabaka's not a black American. He could say that South Carolina shit all day, but we know he's not. Bullshit. The people of Cape Verde know who they are. They know they African, just had a revolution in Cape Verde. Black King is on time with the African. No, he's not. The Cape Verdes think they're Portuguese. They do have Portuguese DNA, but come on, they're African. As you said, that they're African. They push their Portuguese. Let me tell you something. They'll wear all this African clothes and stuff, but they'll say that they're Portuguese. And I'm gonna just be personally honest. They'll say that they're Portuguese Creole. Yes, nigga, I hung on with a lot of them. Let me tell you something. Most of my, let me tell you something. The Cape Verdean friends that I have the most that they know that they're black or African. And I'm gonna say this: Cape Verdeans told me this. So you think Cape Verdeans is lying on other Cape Verdeans? I'm just asking the question. Like, yeah, you have like Benzino, but Benzino, Benzino only hung around black people. And I to this day, I still feel like he's from Taunton. You know? Was he getting busy in Boston? Yes, he was getting busy in Boston. He was getting busy in Boston until he got the source. Yes. Amber Rose, thank you. She says she's mixed. She always tells us her white genetics first before she tell us she's Cape Verdean. This is why I had a problem for her talking for black people. I was like, yo, you Cape Verdean. I'm just being personally honest. The way how she raised her kids, nigga, that's how a foreign people raise their kids. Like, and I'm gonna say this: there's nothing wrong with it. If you want to raise your kids like that, you can raise your kids to swear and do all this other shit. But you can't get mad when the kids start bugging the fuck out. She raised her kids like how these white kids get raised, saying "fuck you, fuck this, this is bullshit." Nah, that shit is crazy. And I'm gonna say this: I'm gonna look at what's my man's name. What's old boy's name? What's going on, Crenshaw's grinding? Is this a Cape Verdean issue? Um, it's an African issue. And the reason why I say it's an African issue because you know what? The whole question is people holding accountable Africans holding accountability of the slave trade. That's why a lot of these countries is fucked up because of the African slave trade. Cause then after that, when you're like, oh, I'm from Africa, you're gonna be like, okay, what part of Africa you are from? Then when you try to go back there, what they're gonna tell you? You're not African. You're not African. I'm more African than you. This is a tribalistic thing. And I'm gonna Shabaka's mad at me because I'm holding Africans accountable for the slave trade. Now they're coming back, and I'm gonna say this: the reason why they're even attacking Black Americans right now or trying to infiltrate their business with our business, because you know what? They need help. They need money. They need money. Why you think all these? Let me ask you a question. Do you think it's a coincidence that a lot of these celebrities is going to Africa and now they're defending Africa? Is it a money move? Is it a political move? Because don't forget, the Pan African movement has always been a Democrat. Always been a Democrat shield. The conscious community always has been a Democrat shield. Yes, it has always. That's why when you tell people like, "Yo, Obama, Obama was a shitty president," you'll get those a few black people that be don't talk about my president like that. He can never do no wrong. Then after that, when you ask him, what did he do for you? What did he do for the black community? Uh, uh. Again, and like I said, this has never. Again, I'm gonna say this to Crenshaw Grinder. Crenshaw Grinder, salute to you, player. This has never been a Cape Verdean issue, but Cape Verdeans don't consider themselves black. A lot of them don't consider themselves black. A lot of them consider themselves Portuguese. Maybe the dark skinned ones, or maybe some few that consider themselves African or even black. I could see that. Salute to them. But a lot of them consider themselves Portuguese. And my boy had to tell him, and he was a Jamaican. He said, "Yo, you're not a port." It's like, "Yo, you're not a real Portuguese. You was just raped by the Portuguese." Portuguese people are perverts. They're freaks. Hold them accountable. Now the question I need to ask you, Crenshaw. I don't know if you're a Pan African or not. If you say that they sent your ancestors on a boat to Africa, give me a second. They sent you on a boat to Africa. Why would you go back? Why would you go back? They human trafficked your ancestors to go back. I mean, to go to another country, a brand new country. Why would you go back? You don't think they're capable of doing it again? This is just a question I'm asking. So, do you think they're capable of doing it? Because don't forget, there is still human trafficking going on in Africa right now. Liberia is one of them. And this is why I said, hold on. This is how you know I'm not biased. I even threw Arabs up in there too. I said Arabs was the innovator of the slave trade. The innovator. Because before the African slave trade, there was an Arab slave trade. And I think it was even twice as longer. Am I lying? Am I not lying? Now, again, I'm going to say this. I'm holding people accountable. I'm holding people accountable. Now, all I'm doing is I'm making the Caribbeans hold them accountable too, collectively. Stop always saying, "Yo, I'm going back to Africa." Hold them accountable for what they did. They didn't deserve that. They didn't need to be subjected to that type of brutality and violation, to be sold to some fucking freaks, to some devils. Now I'm gonna ask you again, Shabaka. Did you come back and get them? Did Africa come back and get the Caribbeans? Did they come back and get those 4% of Africans in America? Or did you tell Marcus Garvey to come over here, bring that raggedy ass boat, and let's go to Liberia? That they took back. That they violated the black people that went over there, that they violated. We have to not romanticize Africa and look at it the way non-Africans view Africa as investment. And to be exploited until Africa collectively get on code. I fuck with your statement. Yes and no though. Yes, we should exploit them. Get on code with them? Never. Never. I even told FBA Convo, and Convo said, I have never met an African. I have never met a tether. I don't fuck with tethers. But he said, yo, we need to have unity with them. I said, nah. If they'll sell us once, they'll sell us again. So no. Only I'm gonna say this. Crenshaw Grinder. I'm gonna say this. Only time to have unity with them is when we're on top. When we have more power, when we have power, yes. Cause then after that, we could leave and we could leave and stay whenever we please. If we help them now, they'll sell us out to the white supremacists. Just for some Agusi biscuits. And no, I'm not getting sold out again. I'm just being personally honest. This is you got to understand too, Crenshaw. You got to understand these Africans were doing business with Europeans after the slave trade. They were still doing business, and they were using other Africans as commodity. It's historic, and this is a historical fact. And I don't like saying historical facts because historical facts can be misled or manipulated. But it is a fact, though. I would never, and I'm just being personally, collectively, I trust a few Africans, but collectively, no. Excuse me. Collectively, no. Especially when money's involved, money or certain things, no. Mm-mm. I would never trust them, you know? And as the great legendary Star Terrain says, I never met an African with good intentions. I never met an African with good intentions. I'm just being personally honest. And I love African women. Don't get me wrong. I love certain African foods. Yes, like the Ghana. I guess Ghana has this type of fish stew or something. It's really really good. But I would never go to Ghana just to get that food. No. Mm-mm. And I would only have like a few women cook my food that are African. Other than that, no. And that's just me. That's just me, and I'm not trying to shit on nobody. I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings. Um, that's not my intentions, but I have to. I got to be honest. I got to be honest, and even with Black Snow Bunny King, he's a fucking Jamaican, and he still defends Africans because of the bullshit. They sold him. They sold his ancestors. He gets mad because I know my ancestors. You know, so I'm gonna say this. Sometimes, because yo, that was a really I'm gonna say this, Crenshaw Grinder. That was a really, really good statement you said. I'm gonna be personally honest. It was a really, really good statement. And reason why I said It's a really good statement because I really do want that to happen. I really do want to do the unity with Africa, but it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I know. I said it. Let me tell you something. I've been fighting for that type of black, was it African unity for like fucking damn it 15, 20 years. Then once you really starts to figure out the path, I was even fighting for the. Let me tell you something. When I was younger, I was a converted Muslim. I was converted to being a Muslim. I stopped eating pork when I turned 19, 18, 19. I didn't eat pork ever again. Until like probably like 9 years ago. And I found out I was allergic to it. My fucking jaw swelled up. I stopped. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Um, but yeah, I was getting busy out here, doing Ramadan, doing reading books. Like, yo, I was really into it, man. And when you find out certain things about Arabs and their hatred for for blacks, period, like the black race, period, yeah, it turned you off. You'd be like, nah, I'm not doing this shit no more. I just couldn't do it no more. And then I found out, and I still follow this, because it's not a religion. I would say that I was an Israelite, and it's not a religion. Do I still follow it? Yes, I still follow most of that stuff. Because I do believe that blacks, Caribbeans, Latinos, yeah, we should be together. But at the end of the day, we can't be together when a lot of these systems are broken, when a lot of these cultures are broken. So it's yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put nobody in that type of situation. You know. So now it's just like I'm a black American, man. Because I didn't the thing I didn't like about Africans that they were trying to erase my culture when they were asking disrespectful questions and I never said anything. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They were like, oh, where you from? I was like, yeah. Oh, I'm from Boston. Oh no, where's your family from? They from Selma, Alabama, and Augusta, Georgia, or St. Clair's, Georgia, and even Savannah. Oh no, no, like where is your ancestors from? I was like, yo, my ancestors is from everywhere. I was like, yo, my great great grandmother is from fucking Alaska. You know, my grandmother, my other great great grandmother is from fucking Savannah. The other one's from St. Clair's. My other Grammy is from St. Clair's too. My Grammy, her mama, is from St. Clair's. Oh, you don't know where you from? Oh, they on this type of shit. I was like, I love Africans, but then after that, when you starting to think about it, I started really seeing it when I started going out with Africans, when I started going out with Caribbeans, when I started going out with Latinos. I used to see it a lot. Like, oh, yo, they used to say this slick shit about me and stuff, and Africans know like five different languages, and it's true. A lot of them know like four or five different languages, including their what is it? Including their native language. So yeah, I used to see the slick shit a lot of these people said about me. I didn't say anything. I waited, and I see even with the Haitians. I love Haitian women, but a lot of them they'll fuck with white guys for status because you know what? Their parents would tell you that, oh yo, black people are lazy and all this other stuff. That shit didn't come from us. That shit, like, I'm gonna say this. We joked around with everybody, because at the end of the day, we were all family. I was calling Haitian, what was it? I was calling HBO a Haitian booty hole and all that shit. I was calling an African booty scratcher. We all joked around with each other like that. You know, Africa is money. No, not no no. Right now, they're on promoting time right now. This is why you have the Professor Smalls. This is why you have the 19 Keys.
This is why you have the ISO speeds and stuff like that. Me, I'm not. You're not gonna have me doing that, Shabaka, because at the end of the day, I know how Africans think about Black Americans. I dated an Shabaka. Do you know most of the women I dated were from that country? Women that did have money, women that I spoke to their parents. Yo, I used to date this Congolese girl. Her mother, her sister, that was her mother, told her she shouldn't be fucking with me because you know what? I'm a Black American. She said she should only be dating somebody from her tribe or a white man. That's what she came. This what came out her mouth. They lived in Burlington, Vermont. This is what they think, Shabaka. These are the people that you're defending. These are the people that you're defending. It's not like I'm making this shit up. It's like, yo, I'm gonna tell you sometimes, Shabaka, it's hard to be telling y'all this shit about Africans because, yo, the love that I do have for Africa, yeah, I do have love for Africa, but I'm not going to Africa. I'm not gonna jump out the window for them. I'm not gonna dumb out for them because at the end of the day, if I was in a situation, they'll go with the side that's winning and say, yeah, look what that nigga's doing. That nigga's uncivilized. What's going on, FBA Convo? But everybody, we're about to take a 3-minute break real fast, and I'm gonna come back in. And Dorsey said, "Thank you, Convo. We're gonna come back in, and we're gonna start the show. I just got to check on the little ones." All right, I'm back, everyone. So yeah, we're gonna get into the show. And I want y'all to like, yeah, we could have comedy shows and stuff about this, but I want y'all to see the accountability that is not being held on the other side. You know, and I think that's very important. I think accountability should always be held to a higher standard. Give me a second, everyone. No, Jesus, no. The hell? A second, man. I don't know what's up with my camera. All right, there you go, right there. All right, perfect. Fixed it. Mm, all right, I'm ready, everybody. All right, let's get busy. Go check on this kid too. All right, here we go. All right, we're gonna watch this one first.
Inherit a pop because
I'll be right back.
this is why reparations, we got to take Africa out of it. All right, I want y'all to understand something. When we're talking about getting reparations and justice, the word Africa shouldn't even be in the mix. Do y'all understand that? Africa, all that transatlantic, there's a reason why they're doing that, I'm telling you. Because right now, this is them countering the foundational Black American grassroots movement. We don't need to be using the word Africa at all because they know throwing the word Africa around over and over is going to dilute everything and muddy the waters. They know that. This is why they keep Africa, the transatlantic slave trade, displaced Africans, stole Africans, misplaced Africans. They just keep that African fucking talk. Listen. We had an ethnogenesis. We have to, when we go to reparations and
What's
talk
going
about
on,
it to
Ray
the
Ray?
government,
Salute, salute.
we have to focus on the ethnogenesis, not that Africa talk. The US government did not inherit a population, they engineered one. It was an engineered population on this land through violence, through law, through generational control. A lot of these other ethnic groups, the African.
Also, everybody, don't forget to send in some money for send in donations for the my first big project. Again, don't forget to send in my some donation to one of my first big project, short film project. It's called Brother Morningstar, Sir Adam's Great Betrayal. So definitely support the project. I do appreciate that, and I will in the credits will be putting names, and I will be putting names in the credits for the short film at the end of the short film movie to give thanks to y'all. So again, thank you again.
Identity and the Black indigenous identity was collapsed into a single caste. You understand? Do y'all understand that? So, under this law, we were not just exploited, we were stripped of all previous identity markers, tribal affiliations from Africa, tribal affiliations from here. That got stripped too.
Shabaka, let me ask you a question. You don't think we was having a constructive conversation with you? Niggas didn't call you no name. Niggas didn't say, yeah, you was eating bush meat or like monkey McNuggets or anything. Niggas was just having a good conversation about accountability. To you, Shabaka, it was probably not really fluent to you because at the end of the day, it wasn't just on. Put it this way: the conversation that we were having wasn't it. It was a good conversation, but it was a unorthodox conversation to you because you're so used to Black Americans holding everybody accountable with the Black diaspora. It hasn't really been fully on Africans Amer I mean, it hasn't been fully on just Africa. So yeah, definitely we was having a good conversation, Shabaka. You should give yourself a little bit more credit than saying that can we hold an intelligent conversation? We was holding an intelligent conversations. You might not like some of the stuff that was being said, but it needed to be said.
You see? That's why we don't have to run around yelling Africa. We have indigenous ancestry too, but those tribal affiliations were stripped
Hmm.
and it was collapsed into one ethnic group, Negro. And we were supposed to be a permanent underclass. And understand that I always tell y'all about the Treaty of Tordesillas. The Catholic Church put an imaginary line in the Atlantic Ocean on the west side of the line, Spain could do whatever they wanted to do. They could subjugate everybody. On the east side, Portugal could do whatever they wanted to do. In the early 1500s, Spain and Portugal, they were over here just running roughshod. They were being very abusive. And there was a guy, a chronicler, Delas Casas. Y'all heard of that guy, Delas Casas? I think it's Bartholomew de las Casas. I think that's his name. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. But he wrote back to the Pope and the Catholic Church about the atrocities over here, like the Spanish and the Portuguese acting a fool.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, hey man, they decapitating people, graping the women, and just, yeah, he was a priest. Yeah, Delas Casas was a priest. Okay, he was a priest, right. But yeah, he wrote back to the Catholic Church, hey man, Pope, some of our people, hey man, I know we holy people, but damn, they doing the most. I don't think God is gonna like what they doing. Yeah, Bartholomew de las Casas, right. I always get his name mixed up. But yeah, he wrote back, hey man, we going to hell if we let this go on.
Mm-hmm.
So the Pope around,
And I'm gonna say this: where were Africans? Again, Africans put people in this situation. This is why I say, yo, y'all have to have accountability of what y'all have done to a lot of these people. You know, like, and I'm gonna say this off the strength of Black Americans, we really can't hold a lot of. I mean, we really can't hold Africans. Um, we couldn't hold Africa's feet to the fire, and the reason why is because they only sold 4% of us. But these Caribbeans, these Brazilians, these Latinos as well, these Mexicans, a lot of these people can hold their feet to the fire, can hold them accountable for what they have done. A lot of us can't. But at the end of the day, we know, like, oh, look what they did to them niggas. You think we're gonna trust these folks after they just done this shit to what we were supposed to be as brothers? Yeah. I'm not gonna put myself in no situation. I'm not gonna bring my fucking ass to Africa. Is Africa beautiful? Yeah, there's some places that are beautiful, but no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
1537, they said, okay, let's just chill out a little bit. Let's do this. Let's make a new law. I forgot what the law was, but the law was, coming from the Pope and the Catholic Church, over there in the Americas, don't enslave the Indians.
Mm.
All right? Just chill out. Indians, they're human beings. They got to be recognized as human beings. So the Indians, you do not enslave them. You don't do that. So what the Spanish and the Portuguese did to get around that, they like, shit, we need labor. We making a lot of money. Hell, this is reclassifying. They call them Negro. That was the workaround and shit. We'll get around that law. All right, they're just Negroes now. And then you said we can enslave Negroes, so boom, they're Negroes, and that's what happened. So that's why you see in the Spanish and Portuguese documents, they kept referring to the natives as Negroes. That's real. That is a reality. Then the English and all these people started doing it in Virginia. Once you got on those plantations, again, there were several.
Now the question is, what did they do to the because Crenshaw put a great point. What did the Portuguese do to what did they do to the Cape Verdeans? Again, we have to bring this up because at the end of the day, don't forget, the Cape Verdeans was the first to be enslaved and colonized. They were the first. I always thought it was Brazil, but somebody told me it was Cape Verde and it was Angolans. You know, that's why I'm gonna say this. Cape Verdean got very beautiful women, and a lot of them are dark. Some of them are light. Let me tell you something. They got an ethnogenesis like Black Americans has an ethnogenesis. Some of us can be light. Some of us can be dark. Some can be bright as fucking butter. Like Cape Verde is like that. But at the end of the day, it's there, what's going on in that country right now, and this is just what I see, and this is my opinion. So, um, if you be like, "Oh yeah, you bugging," I can accept that. I think Cape Verde is going to have to come up with an identity instead of using all these other countries. Um, and they can hold their countries very proud, tall and proud, because they do have a great culture. They have great food. Yes, they do have all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, you can't be saying, "Yeah, this is my culture," but you saying that you're Portuguese. You know, do they have Portuguese genetics? Yes, they do have Portuguese DNA because they were colonized by the Portuguese. So and I get it. So that's why I said I get it. You know, but I do think Cape Verde sooner or later they're gonna be like foundational Black Americans saying that we're not Portuguese, we're Cape Verdean. Or if somebody try to linger on to what their culture is, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you know what? No, we're just foundational Black Cape Verdeans or some shit like that." They're gonna do some shit like that. That's what's gonna happen in Africa. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen everywhere. It's gonna happen everywhere because you know what? Everybody, you gotta understand. A lot of this stuff is new. A lot of this stuff is new from Africa, Nigeria, like the African continent. The name Africa is a fair new term, you know. And when I say fair new term, yeah, it's like 300-400 years old, but it's still a fair new term, knowing how long Africa has, knowing how many people have been in Africa for fucking generations. You'll be like, oh, hold up, it is a fair new term. So that's what I mean when I do say that. So I hope you don't take me out of content, and if I confused you, I apologize.
Indian wars with the British and the white tea supremacists, and the ones they captured, they enslaved them. This is documented. I'm talking slow so y'all can verify anything I'm saying. With the Yamasee War, when they defeated the Yamasees, they enslaved them. All of these groups were enslaved, these Native American groups. And when you got on them plantations, everybody became Negro.
Hmm.
This is documented. When you got on them plantations, they just called everybody got reclassified as Negro. The imported Africans and the domestic Indians all got labeled as one exploited group. Negro. Negro just basically was synonymous with slave. We're talking way before Walter Plecker. Then Walter Plecker, he came and cleaned it up a little bit later.
Coined it,
He
yes.
cleaned it up and really
Got
started
busy.
reclassifying people because there were so many who slipped through the damn cracks. So yeah, he had to complete the paper genocide back in the early 1900s, but I'm talking about all the way in the 1600s, going all the way back then. That's why there were so many cases in the 1700s of people trying to get their freedom suits. They were going to court saying, "Wait a minute, I'm not a Negro. I'm a Native American, and I got proof."
Mm.
So they had to further let finesse black people, finesse us into not realizing our indigenous ancestry here
Mm.
because we would get our freedom. And that was messing the money up. They didn't want us messing that money up, you see. But again, we had an ethnogenesis. So I don't even get into the argument of how much indigenous or how much African. That's not even my argument. I don't even get into that. If y'all want to have the people want to have that argument, knock yourself out. That's not the point. The
That's a
point is
fair
there was an
thing.
ethnogenesis.
That's fair.
So at the beginning of this country, there were people here classified as Negro, like my family.
Mm.
Now, where they came from before they were classified as Negro, well, that's debatable. But I'm talking about at the formation of this country, I got relatives labeled as Negro. That's very well documented. And yes, some of them were indigenous here. Now, I haven't seen nothing from Africa on no paperwork yet.
Mm.
I don't doubt it's there. I'm not one of them people who say, oh, I ain't got no African. I don't say that. I don't say that because it probably is. I haven't seen it.
Hold up,
But
hold
yeah,
up.
when I see Negro.
Did you hear that, Shabaka? Did you hear that? I think I need to let you listen to it again because I'm tired of hearing you saying that niggas didn't say it. Listen.
I don't say that. They old paperwork yet. I don't doubt it's there. I'm not on no paperwork yet. Well documented. And yes, some of them were indigenous here. Now, I haven't seen nothing from Africa on no
Listen.
paperwork yet. I don't doubt it's there. I'm not one of them people who say, oh, I ain't got no African. I don't say that. I don't say that because it probably is. I haven't seen it.
Thank you. Thank you.
But yeah, when I see Negro, I've seen people of color, I've seen
Mm-hmm.
mulatto. Sometimes some of my relatives at different points were called three different things. My great 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 grandmother, she was called a person of color, Negro, and then black in the I think around the 1800s, the 1870s, they had her just as black.
Oh yeah. Also, thank thanks thank you, Ray Ray, for the donation to the Brother Morning Stars Great Portrayal short film project. Thank you. I do appreciate that. You too, I said Ray Ray, thank you, Convo. Thank you, who else am I thinking? A guy named Jeffrey. Shout out to Jeffrey. Thank you, Jeffrey. He sent me, I think, 15. So again, thank y'all. Thank y'all for actually supporting my film and stuff. It's not, and I'm gonna say this, I put him in timeout for 10 minutes. He should be off. His feelings just must be hurt, Shabaka. But yeah, it's I'm gonna say this. I want to thank y'all for supporting my short film. I've been putting a lot of work into it. I've been buying equipment. This is why I tell y'all all the time. I'm doubling whatever you give me. If you give me 7 stacks, I'm putting another 7 stacks in there. 7 stacks. I'm already yo. It's so yo. I'm doing so good right now. I'm emailing everybody. I'm emailing all of these folks, seeing if we could get donations and stuff. I talked to the richest person. I mean, I just emailed the richest woman in Massachusetts. The richest woman in Massachusetts right now. Well, richest person in Massachusetts right now. And see if we can try to get some donations and stuff because I'm gonna do this. I want to, and this is just me. I want to pay my actors good money instead of doing a non-union non-paid union. Like I'm getting actors and actresses and stuff, but I want to pay them. You know, like I want to pay them good, like a good nice amount. I want to have better equipment if I can. Shabaka, I have said that. I said African. I mean, Cape Verdeans are African. I've been said that. Like, why are you arguing over you? Why are you arguing over something I already said? Shabaka, I need you to pay attention. You'll be the next one in timeout. I need you to pay attention, my friend. All right. Honestly, you're probably smarter than him. He can't help. Yeah, salute, salute. Where's Black Kings? Bullshit. They try to divide Africans. Or I'm not trying to divide Africans. I'm trying to hold Africans accountable of what they have done to the Caribbeans and the Latinos and the South American people. Like, don't forget, Africans sold Africans to Argentina, and they did a genocide. They did a genetic genocide to them. They damn near killed off all the black men. They killed it, damn near killed off all the black people on that island. Then brought Europeans over there to repopulate with the African women. So it's like I said, I'm holding people accountable, Shabaka. Like, you can't. You should be happy I'm trying to hold somebody accountable. This could be like one step for you trying to unite Black America. As I told you, I don't think this shit's gonna happen, but you could probably be that primary key that helps Black Americans and Africans and the Black diaspora. But if you come out with these fucking talking points and being emotional and mad, nigga, it's not gonna work. Look at 19 Keys right now. 19 Keys right now. He has to talk about money and how intellectual he is instead of really talking about what the problem is. And like, I'm a foundational Black American. I have always been on 19 Keys side. Even when this shit came out, I said, "Yo, we gotta wait until how he responds." I said that. Was I disappointed? Yeah, I was disappointed because I really do enjoy 19 Keys work, but when you find out how somebody really feels about you and your people, then say, "Yo, you're not my brother." Okay, what you want me to do? Okay, I'm not your brother. This is why I say, yo, this isn't an outrage. This is why I say, yo, I don't like to listen to Pan African people, and the reason why, because y'all was the one in the 1990s and the early 2000s telling us like, yo, we need to be more militant out here. So now when we're militant about our culture and our lineage and where we came from, there's a problem. What's going on, Monstar McFly? Salute, salute, salute. You know, when we start actually being militant and staying on code about our culture and everything that we have done, there's a problem. Like, don't forget, Shabaka, we're the only ones that really legit fight white supremacy. Like, I'm gonna say this: when Pan Africans got involved, like really involved in the 1960s, I think this is when Black Americans got soft. It got soft because y'all are social warriors. You know, y'all are social. Y'all aren't really like niggas that are ready to dumb out. A lot of y'all are not. You know, like, look at what's his name. Look at Stokely Carmichael. Once he got into the Black Panthers, that shit just went out the window. And he was the president of the Black Panther Party. Them niggas stopped being militant. Niggas started being more political. And there's nothing wrong with being political and be on your political shit. But at the end of the day, if it's hurting your people, where it's not working and you're not really even defending yourself, you're ready to fucking protest, this shit ain't gonna work. That's why I said, like, yo, I think Stokely Carmichael was an agent because he was infiltrating the Black Panther movement.
You see. But understand, when we talk about reparations, we got to talk about the ethnogenesis. We got to talk about the ethnogenesis here, not being an imported African. No, 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 no. You see, because we had permanent captivity, even through territorial expansion. When the U.S. started expanding west under that Manifest Destiny, they were expanding the perimeter of the captivity. So wherever we went, we were targeted, and we didn't have sanctuary, and we were targeted by the U.S. government. When we went out there to the West, they had the Fugitive Slave Act, which was a federal law that targeted us. They had the Seminole War. They were sending the U.S. Army out there to grab the black people who were with the Seminoles and enslave them. So the U.S. government was knee deep in the slave trade. We couldn't get out of it because of the federal government. You see, we got to frame this thing correctly. You see, there was a militarized suppression of black sovereignty. Whenever we attempted autonomy, whenever we had our little maroon communities or fortified settlements or independent towns, the U.S. government responded with military force. You understand? And also, they were extracting our intellectual property. We were coming up with some of the agrarian culture to help sustain the food and the agriculture here. We were coming up with that. We were coming up with all types of inventions that we couldn't get patents for. We couldn't generate residuals off of our inventions because during slavery, if you were enslaved, you could not get a patent. So we couldn't even benefit off of our own intellectual property as foundational black Americans. See, we can keep everything domestic. We ain't got to do all that African transatlantic bullshit. We got to stay away from the transatlantic talk, all that. All the shit was going down here. Everything was going down here on this land at the hands of the United States government. We got to be very, 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 very specific. You see, we couldn't patent the shit we needed to patent. You understand? They would take our land every time. Free black people, our land would get taken. And our cultural production under duress, it becomes the national identity. That's the irony. American culture, under this brutal system, it became codified by us. The music, the language patterns, the cuisine, the style, social expression, that was shaped by foundational black Americans under conditions of oppression. And then those cultural outputs got absorbed and monetized and rebranded as American culture without real compensation for that. So it's just nonstop extraction under coercion. You see? That's how we got to frame that stuff. Man. Yeah, they owe us a lot. Yeah, it's just nonstop extractions. We weren't compensated for that. Yeah, man, we got to leave that African shit out of it. That dilute shit. No. It's too much stuff here. We didn't have any sanctuary. No African nation helped us.
I just
No,
said
we ain't
that.
bringing no. Did no African nation help us?
What's going on, Robin? We talking about some cool shit today too. Did you see they actually had a vote? Let me call. I'm cut for time today, Shabaka, man. I got something very special planned tomorrow for you. All right. You're gonna like this one. So you could get your argue on. Definitely. It's on your leader, Marcus Garvey. We're gonna do a Reaper Nation tomorrow. So definitely we will do that. And also, you don't even have to call in. I'll do video chat with you. So yeah. And again, don't call me brother if you did or not. I don't know if you call me brother. I'm just letting you know. I don't like that brother stuff. You know nothing about Kwame Ture. He would smack sense in your. Yeah, if your boy Kwame Ture ever do that, I will pistol whip that nigga. I don't give a fuck if it's Stokely Carmichael. I will pistol whip them. I'm just being personally honest. I'll pistol whip Stokely Carmichael if it ever come down to that. FBA has no power. Why aren't you addressing reality? But yeah, definitely Shabaka, you'll love tomorrow. But I'm like I said, I'm cut from time. I gotta go get my daughter soon. So yeah, I'm just trying to finish this stuff for you because I actually, when I was actually thinking of this topic, I was like, damn, how will I get Shabaka actually talking? You know, and the reason why I said that, because I think Wednesday you did really, really good. You did really, really good with answering questions. You had some real great statements on Wednesday. I forgot the topic that we were talking about. It did numbers, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this. I did that show that we did. I think Wednesday, or was it Thursday? I really enjoyed it because it was Wednesday. Actually, I didn't do a show Thursday. I really enjoyed it because at the end of the day, you stayed on topic. I appreciate you when you stay on topic. Um,
No African nation sent for us, nothing. So we had to create all of these survival mechanisms under brutal duress right here in this land where we have indigenous ancestry on this land too. That's the thing. Man. Yeah, we had to do it all by ourselves. We had to do it all alone with antagonizing tethers. Remember, when we start now people are trying to rewrite history. I heard there was a space earlier where some tethers was talking about all the shit they did for us in the civil rights. I heard some shit earlier. Whose space was that? I think I saw the sister in here whose space that was. Yeah, oh my God. Man, they had a tether in there talking about all the stuff they did for us during the civil rights. Sister, you in here who had the man. I was listening in. I couldn't talk because I was at the barbershop and I was just listening in because I had the earphones in. He was like, yeah, foundational black America. It wasn't love. No, it wasn't love. I don't think it was love's word. It was somebody else. I don't know. But yeah, he was like, Kwame, was it Kwame Nkrumah came over to the U.S. and he went to an HBCU, and then they went to the UN and talked about how bad Black Americans was treated, and that helped the civil rights movement. And I said, if this tether, what, what the whole hell, man? We didn't get no help from nobody. No African nation helped us in the civil rights movement. Talking about, yeah, hey, giving us a thumbs up. Oh, okay, whoop de fucking do. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, and Nkrumah came over here and benefited off us. He went to an HBCU.
mm-hmm.
That was for us. That's us. Yeah. We didn't get no help. I don't want to hear that. We didn't get no help from nobody. They went to the UN and all that. We had people writing charters at the UN. We had Ralph Bunche, people like that. We did all the hard lifting. We were out here putting work in the streets, forming militant groups and all of that. We were doing that here. How you gonna help us? And y'all were just getting decolonized. What are you talking about? How you gonna help us?
What's going on, Dorsey?
And that was when y'all were real down bad over there. You know? Yeah, we had the Deacons of Defense and the Black Panthers, man. We were, well, no. Man. Yeah, man, y'all were over there on the.
Yo, Shabaka, who you talking to? Talking about get their fingers out your ass. Yo, Shabaka's crazy. Hey, yo, Shabaka, I fucks with you heavy, my nigga. But yo, you gotta give a donation, my nigga. I'm gonna say this, Shabaka. You know what? How about this, Shabaka? If you want to teach me something, actually, you give a donation right now. You give a donation right now. I'll let you be on. I'll let you. I'll let you. I'll let you talk. I'll stop the show and I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk. Give a donation. Hold on. You give $5 donations to my GoFundMe for the short film because, as I said, that donation isn't just for me. It's for my team and the equipment and all the other stuff. So you'll be doing a good thing. I'll let you talk for 10 minutes. I'll let you talk to 10 to 15 minutes. If you give $25, I'll stop the whole show and let you talk. Like legit until 2 o'clock. And I'm gonna be personally honest.
Cover of damn National Geographic with your titties out. What you gonna do for us? No disrespect, but in the 60s and the 50s and 60s,
Yeah, they was
that
shitting
was
on
y'all were
Africa.
on National Geographic
Yeah, they was shitting on them.
in a leopard skin thong, running around there with some bush meat. Dude, really? Come on, man. Back in those days, y'all were down bad. You couldn't help us. What
Fact.
you gonna do? You couldn't help us. Send some breast milk over from them titties hanging? What you gonna do? I'm not trying to be mean, but what we gonna do with you and your titties out running around? We help you, nigga. Help me do what? Lord. Titties just flapping around. Titties look like
Shabaka. I'm gonna say this. The reason why I'm saying no, and the reason why I say you gotta give a donation, first of all, I got a show happening. Second of all, I don't give a fuck if you're a teacher. This is my show, and also you're supporting. Yeah, hold on. You're not just talking for yourself. You're talking for my brand. I'm letting you talk on this brand. You know, I'm gonna be personally honest. I'll let you talk and let you do your bullshit and stuff like that. And you can teach as many people you want to teach, but at the end of the day, donations, my nigga. I'm not on that broke nigga shit right now. I have a goal that I need to be doing, so I needed to be stern. My audience, not my audience, my team told me that I have to be stern with y'all. And you know me, Shabaka, I don't mind you coming on here, but donations, my man. All jokes aside, donations. If you're not giving no donations, I can't help you, my friend. The link right here. Donations. We ain't doing this broke. Nigga, this ain't Jimmy Foundation. This ain't Jimmy Foundation. So I can't have you on this brand, Shabaka, without you supporting the brand. So that's the link. Put a donation up. You can be on here. If not, fuck you too, nigga.
tube socks just flapping around on the cover of damn National Geographic. I help these niggas. I help these niggas. No, you didn't. Stop it. All right. I tell us just be saying shit. Lord. Oh, my goodness. All right, let me get some folks in here. Let me get some folks in here. Who is this? Lori? Somebody named Lori something. What's up, Lori? Hello? Did she go to sleep? Okay, where does she sleep with all that noise in the back? Okay, how's she sleep with all that damn noise? She must be in a strip club. She's sleeping in between twerks. All right, let me get her out of here. I took her down. How the hell does she sleep with all that noise in the back? Is that an AI pic? Because the way she's snoring, it don't look like she would look like that. All right. Let me see who we got. HD McFly. All right, let's get HD McFly.
Hey, what's up, Tyreek? How's it going, bro?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm just like out here in Birmingham, Alabama right now. I'm doing some work tomorrow for like a peace conference.
Oh,
But
cool,
I
cool.
want to talk about um the majority spirit with the FBA.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share like a personal experience. Um we need to be more in tune with our spiritual side.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, I want to share like last week, the 19th would have been my mother's it's my mother's 14th memorial of her
Okay.
passing. And something interesting happened. 2 days before I decided to come down to go down south to South Carolina to visit her grave, I received a call, and it turned out to be my brother that I haven't seen since I was 10 years old.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah, and he was only like a few weeks old, and he went for adoption.
Oh damn.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of interesting things was happening to me since my mother passed. Like I was getting jobs at a certain place. Then when I went down south, my relatives told me my mother used to live in that area. So I really do feel like it's the majority spirit for my mother.
Oh yeah. She was guided.
That's like I'm doing too, and even the what
Absolutely.
background and also speak.
American Renaissance is that, and a lot of people that's been trying to finesse and run game, they're being exposed, and I love it. See, the deepest significance of foundational Black American Renaissance is that we're returning to a divine order. You see, a people whose identity was attacked.
See, this is why I told y'all. I was like, yo, I'm gonna say this. I was gonna have Shabaka on, but Shabaka's a broke ass nigga, and I don't want to talk to no broke ass nigga. And I'm gonna be personally honest. You know, and it's nothing to you, Shabaka. You're just broke, my man. I don't want to talk about no broke shit with you. And I'm gonna be personally honest. I don't beg anyone. If you about to donate, my goal to teach not beg. Hey, you think? Let me ask you a question, Shabaka. You think everything I do here is free? No. At the end of the day, everything has a price for it, man. I let you talk. You could at least donate to the show. Because at the end of the day, if you have a show, if you have a show, Shabaka, you know me. I will let you promote your show on my show. But this is how you take it. So yeah, no, I don't give a fuck of what you talking about, Shabaka. I'm gonna be personally honest. Fuck you in Stokely Carmichael. How about that? Y'all niggas don't do shit for black people. Just talk old nigga shit. You know, let's go on to the next one. This one we're gonna see how tribalistic they are, and this is why I said, you know what? I think that's a problem. I think this is why a lot of stuff won't be solved because we have different agendas. We don't have all the same agenda. You know, I think that's a problem. But at the end of the day, it's a cultural thing, and that's why I don't see nothing. That's why I say, yo, Black Americans need to handle this shit first.
Where power means safety, where losing means poverty or prison, where instability is normal. That's how they see the world, and that's how it shapes how they respond to tension and how quickly things can escalate. And that doesn't mean that they're evil. It just means they've been conditioned by high conflict environments. Now compare that to us. Foundational Black Americans were shaped by slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, redlining, mass incarceration. But we also were shaped by something else. We shaped by building under pressure. We're shaped by the Black church, by schools, businesses, We built our culture. We built political movements, and we learned how to maneuver inside an existing structure, not overthrow it or burn everything down. We learned adaptation, survival by adaptation, and that's a different mindset. So, when people come from places where force has historically changed outcomes, and they enter a culture where influence is built slowly through institutions like media law and social leverage, there's going to be beef. There's going to be friction because the operation systems are different. One mindset says secure power quickly. The other mindset says build position steadily. Okay, that's us. And one mindset says politics, they see it as a battlefield, and the other see it as a long game. That's us. Now, here's the problem. When people who are still operating on survival mode gain even a small amount of influence, they move fast. They push hard, and they overreach, not because they hate per se, but because they're used to fighting for their space. And that's what you see these Africans doing. They got a little toehold in Black America, and now they raising all.
It's not how much the thing about it, Shabaka. It's not about how much you give, it's what you give. How much can you give? I'm not gonna Shabaka, you act like I'm trying to break your fucking pockets, my nigga. Like real talk. Even if you do like what? $2 to $3, that's cool. It's just for the media thing that I'm doing. My short filming projects and stuff like that. I've been told you that. But like I said, hold on to your money because I got a great show for you tomorrow. I personally do want you to talk for this show tomorrow. So if you're gonna give money, talk for this show tomorrow. We have talked about it a little bit, but I definitely want to talk about it today. I mean tomorrow. And we're doing the Reaper Nation tomorrow. So don't forget the things that we do on this show, we're not gonna do on the Reaper Nation. So if you talk crazy, I'm gonna have to sit you down.
This hell. And see, the thing you need to understand is survival mode doesn't relax easily. And if you're not in survival mode, if you're thinking in terms of stability, structure, and long-term positioning, that energy feels aggressive. And that's what we're dealing with. These people are too aggressive. Okay? And it's going to escalate. It's going to cause constant friction. It's going to cause, and here's the difference. You can't build peace with someone who still believes they're at war. And not because they're horrible people, but because their nervous system is wired for threat. And when two groups are operating from different threat levels, then what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of misunderstandings. And that doesn't mean we can't get along with people, okay? It means integration. First of all, integration requires trust. It requires stability. You understand? And it requires people who feel the same, who feel safe enough to lower their guard. You understand? And if someone still believes power has got to be grabbed before it's taken from them by somebody else, then cooperation becomes secondary to position. These people are literally trying to swap destinies with us because they feel as though if they don't take our place, whether it's Essence Fest, Black History Month, our positions in universities, then they don't feel safe. You see? That's part of their identity. That's their history. That's the mindset that shaped their environment. And until survival mode calms down, peace is always going to be temporary with these folk. Now, we're about almost 2 hours in, okay? And I want you all to take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel. Please do that. Please subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and
Tell your daughter I said hello. And good day. Shout out to Shabaka's daughter, man. Shout out to your daughter.
do that right now. I need you to subscribe to the channel. All right. I got plenty more to say, but I want y'all to subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Real Conversation. I appreciate you. Take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel. I need some subscribers to come on in and make my job easier. I I need 83 people to subscribe to the channel.
Mm.
Okay. Now, I want to kind of break down this beef that these people have. Now, again, I don't want to get off in the African people business, but they seem to want to get off in our business. They tell us what's wrong with our women. They tell us about marriage. They tell us about our culture. They don't like our soul food. They don't like, you know.
I'm gonna say something. I do take that offensive when they start talking about our women. I'm sorry. Let me put the big boy on. I just noticed that, and everybody, this wall right here is gonna have new pictures up. I'm gonna have a Bronze Reaper up. I'm gonna have Alexander Usyk. And what was the other one? Give me a second. There was another one I'm gonna have up, but those are the two that I'm gonna have up within probably 2 weeks. The Alexander Usyk one, and I might put my Bill Russell one up there too. It depends. But the reason why I like reason why I'm putting Alexander Usyk up there because he's one of my favorite fighters to watch. I couldn't find a Deontay Wilder one, but I do like Alexander Usyk. So shout out to Alexander Usyk. Malcolm X said, "Be aware of the petty bourgeois. These Negroes think they will lose their position." That's a good statement, but I'm gonna say this, Shabaka. I think, I think, and I'm gonna move faster on this one too because it's good knowledge, but we'll watch it. Fuck it, it's only 12 minutes. I'm gonna say this. What Malcolm X said, I think that that's gonna affect the Pan Africans, and the reason why, because you gotta understand, Shabaka, the Pan African movement had black community for the last ever since the 1960s. So that's 60 years, just about 60 years. I'm gonna be personally honest. I have thought the Pan Africans was gonna do a lot for us. But okay, he's a Pan African. Shout out to Bill Russell. Bill Russell is my favorite basketball player. You know, but again, Bill Russell's wife was white. So I don't know how Pan African he can be, Shabaka. He was a Freemason. He had a coffee spot near my old job. It was and that's when I used to work at an $8 billion company. Bill Russell's and the thing about it, I never had the chance to go meet Bill Russell. I found out that was his coffee shop. I think it was like 3 weeks. No, it was like two. It was the week of when the Celtics won the championship with the big three. So Bill Russell is one of my favorite basketball players. So you're not gonna have me disrespect Bill Russell or feel like I'm gonna say this, Shabaka. You're not gonna have me feel any type of way because people are Pan Africans. I don't mind disagreeing. I don't. There's certain things of what Pan Africans I do like. But a lot of it I disagree with. I really disagree with Pan Africans because at the end of the day, a lot of us put everybody put a lot of energy into Pan Africanism, and you gotta always understand we haven't got anywhere. We haven't got anywhere, and at the end of the day, we were doing the things the Pan Africans. And I'm gonna say this: I think the Pan Africans always have been liberal. Liberal. I always thought they were. I always felt like they were Democrats. You know, so it's we got to push away from a lot of these Democrat ideology, and a lot of the things that the Democrats do, it doesn't fit in with the Pan African ideology. I would even say that Pan Africans was slowed by the crack epidemic. They put guns and drugs in our communities to stop. But at the end of the day, Shabaka, you still had a big lump. You still had a large mass of Pan Africans. Even gang members were Pan African. Even I'm gonna tell you this, y'all were the gatekeepers. to this day, this day we was looking at y'all as gatekeepers in the community. It's just when shit popped off, y'all was just never there. I think the last thing y'all ever really been like hands down was there was Rodney King, and that was in what 91. So it's I don't know. I think I'm gonna say this. I think it was. I just think that you know what when y'all see like I always say when money is involved, a lot of stuff it gets things get different when money is involved. You know, so and I think that's what happened. Money was involved. But shout out to the Pan Africans. It's just it doesn't work with Black Americans no more. Black Americans is pushing away from it, and there's a reason why they're pushing away from it.
They say immigrants built this country. This is what they say to us. They love getting in our business. Okay. But see, years ago they had this conflict in Nigeria. Okay. And that's where this Fulani beef and whatnot came from. And see, now it's no longer just about cows eating crops. It's about armed crime. It's about terrorism. It's about ethnic struggle. It's about political struggle, climate problems, social media, information. You see, they're doing a lot over there. Okay, they're doing too much. And so Pan-African, people, this is who you want us to roll with. You understand? And see, it's not that simple. You got Fulani. It's not simply Fulani versus Nigeria or Muslim versus Christian or North versus South. It's a convergence of land pressure, weak governance, crooked cops, okay, political manipulation and fear of losing their identity. They don't want to lose their identity. Like we don't want to lose our identity, our FBA identity. They don't want to lose theirs either. You see? And see, this is a conflict with too many narratives and too many people playing positions and too much history to reduce to a single ethnic label. And if it continues to be simplified that way, the danger is going to increase. Now, let me tell you what's going on. In many parts of Nigeria, especially in the northwest and the central regions, you got armed criminal gangs that call themselves bandits. They kidnap people for ransom. They steal people's cows. They burn down people's farms. They attack innocent villagers. They block the highway. And then they want money from the communities. This is like the mob. And many of these bandits come from what's called the Fulani herder backgrounds. They the Akatas. Okay, not all the Fulani bandits, and this is based on what I'm hearing. It's based on what we heard. I did a little summary. Most of the Fulani people are regular citizens, but herders, students, business owners, politicians. But because of the criminals, mostly Fulani, speaking, everybody gets, drug in, okay? So they want to delineate. They're not saying it's African problem. They say, oh, these are the Fulanis. So they've delineated themselves. Now, in farming communities, especially in the southern and central Nigeria, people are terrified, okay? The attacks on villages have increased, the kidnappings have increased, the ransom demands have gone up. Women are being assaulted, farmers say the crops are being destroyed. These people are horrible. And these people don't feel safe. And the government's not protecting them. And so they're getting mad. And they're looking for revenge. And we know what happens, retaliation. And what is leading to is mob attacks on anybody that looks like a herder. They're burning out settlements. They got ethnic targeting. And they're killing people without trial. And so now the violence goes both ways. Instead of just criminals attacking farmers, it become the community versus the community. It's lawless over there in many parts of that. Now, the other thing is the Nigerian military has launched operations to fight these bandits and terrorists. But when the military goes into certain areas, sometimes they just arrest large groups of people. Anybody can get it. Shout out to Cherie. And they treat the entire community like suspects. So you got police brutality going over. They just detaining people. And so even if innocent people are harmed, it's okay. Okay? But what happens when innocent people get harmed, and innocent people want to take up arms, so they increase. And you hurt somebody's family member that they care about. Guess what? They gonna want to go get some people to come retaliate.
All right, we're gonna watch a little bit of that left. I'm gonna say this. What he's saying is that Africa is having a problem of their own self, but at the end of the day, they're in the business of America because Black Americans, because they believe if they infiltrate Black Americans, it will be fixed. And I think that's an old game. That's an old game that a lot of Pan Africans used to do. So I do have a problem with it, but at the end of the day, it's nothing new. I'm not surprised, So it is what it is. But this is the accountability that I was talking about. But yeah,
Okay.
again, I'm not surprised. We're gonna do one more last one, and oof, this is an hour long too. But we'll get to it.
Little trinket that you can get, and
Look at it. These dollars feel like silk. Reparation money. Mine now. I'm swimming in it. The sweet sound of.
you sold our ancestors for umbrellas. You sold our ancestors for fine china. You sold our ancestors for any little trinket that you could get. And now, you mad because other nations got rich off the slave trade.
Man, they got
and
security.
All you got was some beads. And
Yo, they got that shit blocked the fuck off. They knew Black Americans was gonna act up, and this is a thing: accountability. I'm just being personally honest. This is something that was long overdue, and I'm glad it's long overdue.
now you want to sit here and try to ask for $100 million to translate the place where you stole and held our ancestors. Let me repeat the sentiment of my sister that just spoke. Jamani Williams, I saw you earlier. You don't speak for us because you don't have our blood. Al Sharpton, you have our blood, but you still don't speak for us. You are a shakedown artist, a preacher without a church. You don't.
And Shabaka, remember what I told you a few months ago? I was telling you that Al Sharpton is the new spokesman for Pan-Africanism. Do you remember that I said that? You're seeing this as fine wine right now. You're seeing this as fine wine. Let me ask you a question, Shabaka. Why are you seeing Al Sharpton in a lot of Pan-African spaces?
Speak for us. Who else? Is that Clark? Yeah, you might have been voted in, but you wasn't voted in by us, and you don't speak for us. And that's why we're going to make sure that you lose all these extra bodies that you putting on the.
Oh, shit. Your voice, your language.
People. And it shows every day. We can tell when Yvette Clark sits up there and fights for everybody but us. We can tell that you ain't our kinfolk.
Oh shit!
When you sit there and you see our people struggling and it's suffering, but you're sitting there giving $10 billion to people who have never paid one penny into this tax system. But you don't.
Al Sharpton's. I don't think you understand, Shabaka. Al Sharpton has no loyalty to nobody. His loyalty is money. Who's gonna give me the big bag? Al Sharpton has always been like that. That nigga is the Don King of fucking of the Democrats. I'm just being personally honest. He's the Don King of Democrats. He's a swindler. He's all of that. How you think he's paying? How y'all think he's paying for all that fucking Ozempic?
Yeah, see you laughing, and I hope the ancestors come up from the ground and tear your ass up. I am so sick of y'all. We are not the only people. We are sick of it. We are tired of you disrespecting our ancestors and disrespecting us now in the present. We are sick and tired of it. You are disrespectful. We told you we don't like what you're doing, and you continue to do it. Don't you feel uncomfortable? You flew your ass all the way over here to be disrespectful on top of somebody else's grave. Now imagine if I came to God.
This is why I say there's no accountability. There's no accountability. And after Black Americans say, "Yo, this shit is disrespectful," this is disrespectful. But you got to understand, a lot of Africans is comfortable with disrespecting Black people, telling Black people. You know, a Nigerian got mad at me because I say, "Yo, your country is a king of queens of fucking scamming." How do you know that? That's not true. I was like, nigga, you rank one or two over Indians, over or above Indians or India, you know? So it's, yeah, it's, this isn't nothing new.
And I just pissed all over your ancestors' graves. How would you feel about that? How would you feel about that? You wouldn't like it, but you feel the need to come over here and do what you're doing in the name of what? You are not our friends. You are not our family, because our friends and family will respect our ancestors' graves, but that's not what you're doing, is it? You're doing whatever the hell you want to do, and to us be damned. And this is why we are tired of it. And this is why we delineate. This is why all you're doing is giving us fuel and letting us know what we must do. And the path that we are on is righteous. You are disrespectful, continuing on with this ceremony and how many of you are even foundational Black Americans that are over there? Probably none. But you are standing on our ancestors' bones. I'm telling you this again. You are standing on our ancestors' bones.
And that's why Africa looks.
We are tired of it. You can sit there and just stand there on our ancestors' grave. That's our people.
That you're at the
Yo,
UN
she's telling the truth, man.
telling them to classify slavery as a crime against humanity, right? And then you're asking for reparations for all of those of African descent. But you still have slavery going on in your own damn country.
I said that.
This is one of the reasons why I am so for Black America.
It's called human trafficking. It's called human trafficking. They're still human trafficking their own people, especially women. Yes. How you think a lot of these people ended up in these countries without documents? What they do, I seen a movie. There was this movie where a guy, the witch doctor, he blesses the women before they leave, and they go. A lot of these women go when they get human trafficked because they don't know that they're being human trafficked. They start fucking all these like German fucking weird guys and stuff, and sometimes they get beat the fuck up because a lot of those white supremacists see them less as, you know. And this is what Black Americans have been fighting for y'all for. This is why we were like, yo, you know what? This shit is inhumane. We were the ones that told y'all that shit was inhumane. Y'all are now, after fucking what? 300 years, 250 plus years later, now y'all saying that this is inhumane? We already knew US, Israel, and was it Argentina was gonna say no. They were gonna say no because at the end of the day, they were the ones who benefit off of slavery. Yes, Israel benefit off of it, and I'm talking about the small hats because at the end of the day, they're the ones who funded it. This is the truth. I can't lie about it. They funded slavery. That's why I always tell you I don't give a fuck about none of them. What's going on between them and the Arabs, I don't give a fuck. That shit ain't got nothing to do with me. I just tell Black Americans, don't get yourself in caught up in that fucking situation. Let the motherfuckers kill each other. What the fuck does that do for y'all? Tariq Nasheed's in California. You want him every protest, you want him to be there? Nah, it just doesn't work like that. You could be there when you can be there, you know? But at the end of the day, you got to understand also too, Shabaka, what we're doing right now, We're we're telling people what's really actually going on. Sometimes you don't need to be there to be a powerful component.
Americans getting back into hoodoo. Because, yes, we have Christians here, but I need you all to understand. Our people was doing hoodoo before they became Christians. And it wasn't the hoodoo that you all think when it comes to witchcraft and you killing people and you sacrificing animals. No, they literally use natural things in order for them to protect themselves, to make themselves better. So much so that even the slave masters were going to medicine women and medicine men and conjure women and conjure men in order for them to heal ailments that they weren't able to get rid of. You all look at hoodoo as this thing that is just evil and demonic, and it's not. You could even Google it, it'll tell you that it's not witchcraft. But Black Americans may need to tap back into that bag if it's a part of your ancestry. Even invite him over here to even be allowed to lay anything on those graves. I need to fix what y'all got going on in y'all own country and leave us alone. Leave us alone. At this point, we need hoodoo, conjure women, conjure men, Christians, everybody. We need everybody to come together and keep these people away from our people. Keep these people away from our land. Keep these people away from our ancestors. Because the disrespect is super loud, and we hear it.
Let's talk about tethered Ghanaian President Mahama coming to the United Nations trying to speak on the behalf of Black Americans, indigenous American Indians in the United States of America, trying to steal our reparations. Now listen, short and sweet, he failed, and I'm going to tell you why he failed, okay? Listen, it's not going to work out the way they believe it's going to work out. All that happened was the world recognized the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity. Okay. Now, what they're not telling you is that reparations is by lineage. Recently in the past, this whole return to Africa thing, and a lot of people around the world who are supposedly African descent was going to Africa and getting citizenship based off an ethnicity DNA test. There are a lot of loopholes that's going on in Africa, a lot of criminal activity. First of all, an ethnicity DNA test is not an official way to prove your lineage. You only do that with a kinship test in genealogy. Any biologist, scientist will tell you that, okay? So anyhow, they're trying to get people to go to Africa and get citizenship based on an ethnicity DNA test. That's unlawful. That could never happen in the United States of America. Reparations is claimed by lineage. You have to prove you specifically endured slavery, your ancestors, right? And there's different forms of reparations. But if you're talking about the transatlantic slave trade, you can't prove it by an ethnicity DNA test. I'm sorry, because that's fake. You have to prove it by lineage. Now, this president, this tethered president, must think that Black Americans are...
No, Shabaka.
Not Black American, American Indian. I'm not going to allow any Black Americans or the African Americans in power to play this game like we don't know how reparations work. You have to prove your lineage. Africans sold Africans into slavery. So the very thing that this Ghanaian tethered president is crying about, he should be addressing the other African leaders that sold other Africans into slavery. Africa was never united. That's why you sold people that look like you into slavery, for those of you who say that you're African descent. And not all Black Americans came from Africa. So that's another thing that's going to be a huge issue speaking on our behalf. And it's not going to work. You understand what I'm saying? Now I want you to take a look. Take a look at this right here. And I'm going to break down what's going on, what has happened, and what is not happening. And later on in another video, we're going to further discuss reparations, what it is and what it is not, who is entitled and who is not entitled, who can speak for Black Americans, indigenous American Indians, and who cannot speak for Black Americans, indigenous American Indians. And I thank you. Take a look at this. Okay, let's talk about Ghana's president, Mahama. Tethered president failed. Symbolism only. United Nations shenanigans will not work out in their favor. No money approved. No reparations payments created. No legal obligation on any country. No specific beneficiaries defined. Symbolic recognition pushed forward. Global conversation elevated. Political pressure campaign expanded. Coalition building.
Voodoo is 123 countries. Hoodoo, no. Hoodoo's totally different. Are they similar? Yes, they are similar, Shabaka. You are right about that. They are similar, but they're not. It's not the same.
For future negotiations. That's it. That's all.
So everybody always trying to blame white people for slavery. What about the Africans who sold us to the Americans and to the British and the Europeans? What about the Africans? Do you want to go to Africa? Hell no, I don't want to go no goddamn Africa. Africans don't like black people. We ain't black and we ain't African. I know we're not African. Well, how many of these African countries came back over here trying to save us? If anybody owes us reparations, it's those African countries who sold us.
Who said that?
Because the white boy didn't force us to come over here. They bought us.
The U.S. is not obligated to pay out any foreign nations no reparations, because if we want to be technical, Ghana, you had internal responsibility for the slave trade. You are an active participant. Two, you guys don't have no paper proof of how many people was took and who was took. You guys don't have that. You have oral histories, but we have oral histories here, and you guys don't believe our oral histories.
The claim of the Ghana president here in the U.S. for reparations is inept and false.
Guys,
Herein lies the issue with many of you that I'm finding to be, quite frankly, exhausting and disgusting. The Black American community has a level of discernment and knowledge about dealing with manipulative powers that many of you will never possess. Not only do we have that level of knowledge about dealing with them, we have that level of knowledge about overcoming them and how to spot the signs of them trying to weasel their way into a mode of understanding and mass manipulation. So when we say that the Ghana president coming to America and going to the gravesite of where our ancestors' blood and bones lay to do a ceremonious performance of theater by way of eulogy, what we're telling you is that we know for a fact what he is trying to do is elicit sympathy for a people he cannot claim. And it is unacceptable. It is unrighteous, and we can see through it. Many of you do not have the ability to remove the glaze over your eyes because you have not won a battle on land with these types of people. Many of you see them as a savior, and we do not. The Black American community does not see any outsider as our savior, because many of the times where we have won a battle, it has been internally. We know what we are talking about. Our discernment is at a level that is much higher than any other group of people who share our same skin color, because our battle has been different. Our proximity to the colonial power has been different, and our defeat over them has been different. If you can't understand that, I realize it's because you want to miss.
When you talk about, the transatlantic slavery, people think that the people that were taken to the Caribbean were mostly Ashantis. No, it was actually the Ashantis that were capturing people. So they were capturing people from the north of Ghana,
Other places
the
where...
Salaga market.
Yeah.
So they catch you from the Salaga side. They walk you down all the way to Cape Coast, where you take your last bath.
Wait, you walk all the way from the north.
I tell you,
down. Are you kidding me?
So that is why
you are making it up. It's not true.
I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up.
Many
if you go to the north,
many of our African American brothers in the diaspora, in the Caribbean, we shouldn't think they are from the coastal areas.
No.
Salaga, up north. If we do tourism right, you will just see how they trekked, kidnapped, captured people all the way from present-day northern Ghana, hundreds of kilometers.
Even the north
that I know.
No.
Yes, they walk. They.
Some people did not even make it along the way from the north to the south. Like,
this is one of the news outlets that I follow in Ghana. I woke up this morning to start reading the news like I do just about every day. Read the news in many African countries. There are 56 countries in Africa, 55 in the African Union. Please forgive my voice. I'm losing my voice. I want to thank everybody that stood beside me when I protested in New York on the 24th and the 25th. Today on the 26th, I'll be at 1837 Broad Street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at the Temple University Performing Arts Center to protest again. As far as I know, I'm the only person that'll be there. 1837 Broad Street, today at 4:30 p.m. So I woke up and I read the news and saw comments from Ghanaians saying that they're going to get reparations. The United States rejected the proposal or whatever John Mahama wanted to recognize. He mentioned reparations and reparative justice, but he did not mention who deserves reparations. If you listen to the United States response, John Mahama did not mention properly who deserves reparations because he didn't mention Black Americans. These are some of the comments from Ghanaians about that video from Mordemaya. Many of them know that they sold Africans into slavery. Excuse me, my voice is going. Read these comments from Ghanaians. Many of them know that they captured their own people and sold them into slavery, and they believe that they deserve money for selling Africans. Look at the comments. Read the comments. Many of these Ghanaians know that they traded human beings into slavery. And they think this morning, March 26, 2026, that they are going to get money and reparations for selling their people into slavery. I can't believe this fucking shit. This is like
Europeans, they were sold by Africans.
Giving it back over here.
It's Ghana president because he came to the UN yesterday in New York asking for reparation and to recognize slavery as the gravest crime to humanity. He is fighting for all enslaved Africans, but the Black Americans /FBA was angry about it. Like, why did they come to America to demand justice? Because they played a huge role in slave trade. They said that Africans sold all of them. They were not kidnapped by the Europeans. They were sold by Africans.
Giving it back over here to FBA, to Black Americans? Are they giving it to any HBCU universities? Are they creating any grants in Black banks here in the United States? If they've been so sorry and are doing it for reparations, they haven't been doing it. So what would they change now? So in my mind, if these people have been the adversary for so long, and they think they can throw some sage, do a little ritual over what they think is some bones of some people that likely ain't.
Do you all see what is going on? I don't know where we are going to start from. Mama, of course, something. Recently, Mama traveled, and Mama is talking on behalf of Black American, African American, and the Caribbean about restoration. I don't even read much about that news, but the whole media is on fire. I see people going live. Why? I don't want to say much, but it looks so scary the way African American are talking. Hey, God, I don't know, maybe this is just a spell they cast on you guys, because I see that maybe African America recently are trying to go back, or many African countries calling them back home, like Ghana, give them, citizenship, and Burkina too. They are kind of connect. So maybe they go and cast a spell on all of you. The way African American are so really hungry this time around to African people, I get so scared. I don't know, I don't want to say much, but you people should stop, please. Stop. We can apologize, on behalf of our president going to America to go and fight for you, and you don't even need it. You say you don't need African leader to speak on your behalf because you don't trust them. A lot of you say that. And wish me, I don't blame you. We also, that is what I'm saying. Let us fix our problem. Africa have problem. Why would Mama go and fight?
Because I live in Boston.
For African American. But they are not even in need of this help.
And I got a job.
We should have fight for those of our neighboring country that is going to stress him.
And I got 2 projects that I need to be doing right now.
Problem. Why will Mama go and fight for African America? And Two countries have get experience about this African American before. They are Liberia and Sierra Leone. They have experienced what it means to have African American in their country. I will not say much. I will not say much. It's so scary, but I'm begging you all to please stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. It's going to be disgusting, disgracing ourselves, fighting, insulting, cursing, remembering yourself how you go through slavery, how they sell you. Hey, God, please. Caribbeans are not talking. I think Caribbean are, happy to what Mama is doing. It's only African America they are saying this. I cannot even respond.
Liberia was established by free slave from the US. Who are you, Ghana, to go and stand in the UN and try to ask for reparation? Explain to me. You were involved in selling people. Your ancestors
hold up.
by free slave from the US. Who are you, Ghana, to go and stand in the UN and try to ask for reparation? Explain to me. You were involved in selling people. Your ancestors sold your children, sold other Africans into slavery. The records are there. You're supposed to be compensating. You're supposed to be compensating African American instead of going to stand in the UN and trying to ask for reparation. And I'm glad that the US did not support it. And I'm glad that Israel did not support it. I'm glad. You don't deserve, no African leader have any right whatsoever to ask for reparation. These people.
You see why I say all the time that there are some Africans that are they're on code. They understand what's going on. They understand their people, but they can't lie no more about it. This is what's going on with this situation.
Went through a lot. I may have my own personal disagreement with individuals. But when you look at the history of the Black American, not only in America, if you look at the history of the blacks in France, in Germany, in Europe, in Spain, in Portugal, in Italy, you look at the history, those in Jamaica, other places, they have the right to stand up and demand for reparation. No African leader has that right. And I honestly believe you have disrespected the ancestor of the African American. But most of the African American will not see it from that way. They won't. That's why I keep saying, slavery have ended. That is your home, Black America. America is your home. Stand up for your country. It's important for you to recognize where your ancestors came from. Good. But this is now your home. This generation here is your home. You don't have any other place. Here is your home. Stand up for what's right for you here.
You see that, everybody? You see that? What's going on, Jeff?
I'm an African. But I feel very, very hurt that a Ghanaian president go to stand before the UN to ask for reparation. Reparation for what? Explain to me. Explain. Gave you money for what? Gave you money for what? Get African leaders money for what?
What with Black Americans?
And we do not want other nations getting credit for stuff that we immediately went through. Now you want to talk about the Africans that came from the continent. Those were rival tribes that you guys put in bondage and sold off to the white man. I'm not saying that there weren't certain Africans that came over here. The Africans that came over here got absorbed by the people that were already here. And that's how that goes, point blank, period.
I'm going to say this to a lot of Pan-Africans. Those Africans that they sold to Africa, those are our brothers now. I mean, those Africans that sold Africans to Europeans, those are our brothers now. Those are our brothers and we're protecting them. They're a part of this lineage. That's cool that the generic African thing all they want, but you got to understand, they're part of our lineage now. They don't need to talk about Africa and what you did to them. We just know that you did it. And you did not look back. And only why this man is asking for reparation is because they signed a shady deal.
My family in the Midwest, if they come to your grave site, your burial site, you pull up too and say one simple thing: Africa is not our voice.
They're at the African American burial ground with the Ghanaian president.
John Trump Mahama is trading Africans for favors in their U.S. military base that is located on the tarmac of Accra Airport, and the FBI, and soon to be one of you New York City police officers.
Okay, so as you can
agree
see,
with
I'm
you,
wearing
Lady
Ghana jersey
TC.
today, and I have my reason why of, wearing this. Yes, this is to let you know that I am here representing Ghana. Yes, I'm a Nigerian living in Ghana, and I'm here representing Ghana to, put you guys, some of you, I have to reset your brain and make you understand that there's no African country that love you. That you realize that you guys do not know the value of a country welcoming you in. Hey, Black Americans, Ghana, that accepted you, Ghana, that received you. There's no, hey, they kind of welcoming. They welcomed you guys in Ghana. Even us Africans, we've never received that kind of treatment. But this is what you choose to pay Ghanaians back.
Psychology, communication, media, and public.
And I rock
So they
with
try to
it.
do everything possible.
I'm gonna land right here, everyone. This show was getting good too. I want to say this. What we just watched was a absolutely great show. We actually had a great show within 3 hours. I'm gonna land here and say this. It's time for them to be accountable and stop making excuses. If you're gonna get reparation, get us reparation. Africa don't need reparation. If you're talking about the atrocity it happened in America with Africans, pay us here. Stop you getting paid. All you did was sign a bad deal. We know about, and I'm gonna say this: we know about treaty break-ins. We have seen Europeans do it for so long. This is why we never signed a treaty with them. This is why we also always. This is why we always fought. We always fought. And I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna get started right here. Well, I'm gonna end right here. Africa. I know I don't believe in a black unity with us, but I believe that y'all niggas need to handle what's going on in Africa. I believe y'all need to handle what's going on in Africa and just leave America to black America. First of all, America is not letting black Americans go or even go to Africa in collective. Collectively, they're not going to let us go. When we had that chance, and you know what they did? They created passports. So they're not letting us go, Again, shout out to everybody. And also I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give an ill shout out to Shabaka because actually, Shabaka, you actually did good today. And I'm surprised. I'm gonna say I'm surprised that you did this good in this show. But yeah, this show right here, it was technically for you, and the reason why it was for you because I think you needed. I think I needed to hear more from you about accountability. Did you answer it? No, but we tried. We tried though. We tried. And I know you're not gonna make Africa have accountability for all the bullshit that they did. Yeah, they signed a bad deal, Jeff. Yep. But thank you for being, actually a good host. So shout out to Shabaka. He's number one today. Black Snow Bunny King. also known as Popo from Dragon Balls. So, shout out to Jeff, Renaissance Woman, FBA Convo, Dorsey, Rando, Ray FBA, salute, Crenshaw, Grinder, shout out to you, player. Monstar McFly, salute. Lady TC Sings Jazz, shout out to you. And Osto Gray, player. Thank y'all for being on this show. I appreciate everything. I appreciate the support, the kickback, the trolling at times. I appreciate a lot what y'all do with this show and thank you for everything. And I will see you tomorrow with the Reapers Nation. I'll have a special show. I will put it out when I get home after picking up my daughter now. And you have a great day and see you later.